It is a privilege to be in this church, and I just want to say something about, it's kind of a commercial, I suppose, but I've been in a lot of churches, like the pastor said, I was PK, and so we moved around every 3 or 4 years, 2 sometimes, and not unlike this community right here. Kind of small churches, and we would go, and most of them were struggling, and I look at this place, what we have right here, and it amazes me. It never ceases to amaze me because we have so many baptisms. I don't know if you really realize, but in the churches that I went to, if we had 2 baptisms in a year, it was really a special thing. Maybe 3, sometimes none. And you look at this place, and Uni's not a big place. And so I was thinking about this, about what makes this such a special church. Why are people coming here and just really finding the Lord in a small community? And it dawned on me just through what the pastor's been preaching on over the last 3 years that I've been here, before. And he always preached a whole book right here in the Bible, the whole thing. He doesn't. There's the good, there's the bad, there's the ugly in here, and he preaches it all. And I think that's what the world needs to know. And I see this, and I see the truth that comes from this church and from his mouth. I just want to give that up to the pastor. Okay, but testimony. I'm PK. I was brought up in the church, and the doors were open. I was here, and with my dad and my mom, and even Sunday nights when something special was going on, whatever it was. There may be one other family in the church, but we were there. I said, Dad, let's just go home. Nope. So, I kind of, even my friends would be out there and they'd have something special going on. I want to go. Nope. Okay, well, whatever. So, kind of led to some, kind of like, resentment or something like that from my dad. Anyway, so that was my early years. Growing up at 7, I decided to accept Christ as my Savior because I know that's what was expected of me. My parents wanted that. I saw it was kind of necessary. I wasn't quite sure why. So I went forward, and I got the hugs and appreciation from it, and I kind of started this trek of being saved. So, it's kind of, was there a big change in my life? Was there a change about a 7-year-old deciding to get in trouble and stuff like that? Anyway, so I kind of was going through all the motions, trying to figure it all out, and then at 15, it kind of dawned on me there's something way more important going on here. And I started really fearing for my soul. And it was like, well, am I going to heaven? And, I know there's a hell. And, okay, so kind of rededicated my life to Christ in a way that I understood it then. And this started a new journey. Now, junior high years and high school years back in the 70s wasn't very good. Wasn't very fun. A lot of stuff going on back then, a lot of stuff going on now. So kind of thinking my life as a prodigal son at that point. So I kind of rebelled against my parents for a lot of things they did. Some of the things I look at my dad and go, Dad, why don't you go to any of my baseball games? I played, Little League for several years, and he never went to, they say he went to one game, I don't remember it. So he was always active in church. He goes, son, I'm busy. Okay, so there was some resentment that I held back and kind of let it get inside here and grow a little bit. And so I kind of used that. And so I was going along in high school, met up with some wrong people, and there you go, prodigal son thing. You kind of go off and do your own thing. And I found it's not all that great. All of a sudden you're sitting there in the slot trying to figure out what went wrong. Well, you went your own way, So that was where I was at. Then decided, what, there's more life in this. I cannot do it my own way. I've tried it. I thought I was pretty smart. Ended up not so smart after all. And started thinking about, well, there's more life than this. I got to find this thing out. And, there's a lot of different kind of stuff going out there, meditation and Zen and this kind and that kind. And so, but it was always there. I mean, what my parents
had taught me and put in my heart, boy, it was just lodged right there, drawing me back, continually drawing me back. And I kind of call this testimony kind of staying the course, because if you look at my life, if you're going to run a race, typically, if it's going to be you kind of go straight. You don't really want to go way out like this unless you're out in the boonies somewhere. But, so if you look at my life, it kind of went zigzag around, It's like really odd. But I don't think it's unlike a lot of other people. And it's what we do, because you know what? We're sheep. And once you start learning about what it is to be a sheep, good grief, we wander if we don't have our shepherd right there. If we go off on our own, man, we just do our little wandering thing, all of a sudden we're, there's a cliff there, and you're fenced in, you're afraid, all this kind of stuff. So, I looked at that, I go, well, I'm a sheep. I got to, that's what I am. So, it occurred to me that, I always felt like I turned to God, or I found God. But later on, I realized that it was never me, turned to God. I always felt Him tapping me on the shoulder, saying, here I am. So I always thought it was me doing everything. And, in the end, it was always God saying, hey, I'm here. Yeah, I know, okay. Got married. My wife and kids, they go to the second service. They'll be here today. And found through marriage, the first thing was marriage is difficult. And so I had to give that to God right away, because figuring out that thing took a while. So went along in marriage, and then having kids, and kids just put a magnifying glass on your life about who you are, because what they do is they just emulate you and all the good, bad, and the ugly stuff. And you look and you kind of get it's like, wow, that's me. I know that's me. I see that, and I go, I don't like that. So we discipline them, So, but in the course of the action, we go, whew, I wonder if that's still a little bit of me in here. So it's weird how God can hone us in our relationship to Him through our kids and through our wife. And and again, it's all about this staying the course. And I go back to my parents and what they gave me as a child, and I look at what now I'm teaching my kids, and it's amazing the things that just make a lot of sense to me now that my parents did. And I sit there and I go, man, I love my mom and dad now. My dad's in heaven. And it's like, good grief, what they gave me was amazing and special, because they put this really hard in my being of what I need to do. There's other things more important than, I remember Wizard of Oz on Sunday night, right? It was always on Sunday night. They didn't have, videos and all that kind of stuff to go back to, and so I never got to see it, because Sunday night we were always gone. And I resented that. Now I look at it and go, I totally understand my dad now. I mean, I'd do the same thing. So, in the staying the course, and this is my challenge, it's my challenge to myself and to my kids, and then to anybody who wants to listen about what it is, because completing this course and staying the course, and now that most of us are adults here, and even the kids, as we're learning from our parents, is it so important to know what this course is. There's a lot of distractions out there, especially today, many distractions. And so, when we get that tap, and especially what we learn from our parents now, and learn to put in our heart now, and then when God taps us on the shoulder, this is not the way to go, and we listen to Him. So, and it's very important in my life now to listen to that tap tap. Hey, this is where I want you to go. This is what I want you to do. I'm not a missionary. I don't go to Africa. I have friends that are there. But let me tell you something, Newman just needs the same thing. Crow's Landing, our schools, our work needs God and our witness there. I mean, this country needs it sometimes more than other countries that are out there. China's growing in Christianity. What is our country doing? So he needs our witness. We need to stay on course and be on course for that. So, I'm going to end with this about a verse that really comes home to me, and it's Psalms 1, and it talks about don't sit in the seat of scoffers, or be in the counsel of the ungodly. This is not what God wants us to do. But He wants us to be a tree planted by the rivers of water. And with that, you get fruit. When you're planted by the rivers of water, and He's nurturing me as an individual and then us as a church, good grief, you know, the fruit that comes out of it is just amazing. And so, you know, and then stay in the course, stay with it. Don't veer off and then finish it up. Paul's whole journey was about staying the course, you know, once he got converted on that road to Damascus. So the rest of it was staying that course all the way to the very end.